Okay, so I'm getting ready to take these out, and I just wanted to show you. Let me get it in there. Some of it did bubble up. It all bubbled up pretty high during the initial drying stage, but one tray bubbled up high enough to touch the top of the pad there. But once it started drying, it all settled back down. So I just wanted to show you that. And I don't know if it makes a difference on what cider you use, but the one I got was pasteurized, but had no additives at all in it, no preservatives or anything. So I just wanted to show you that before I take it out. So let's get it out and get it powderized. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so there we have it. Now I notice when I take this out, it's quite spongy. So I'm going to let that cool down because it's very warm, and see if that's going to get crispy or not. So we'll leave that for a couple of minutes and see if that gets crispy or not. See you in a minute. Okay, it's been a few minutes, and I did one tray. And I will tell you, this isn't for the faint-hearted, but it did powder up fairly nicely with my rolling pin in a Ziploc bag. So I'll put that off to the side and demonstrate that to you. And the reason I say it's not for the faint-hearted, because this gets really stuck to your tray. So, don't blame me if you don't use a silicone mat, which is what I used, about the cleanup, because it does stick to the sides of the trays. But once you get that silicone mat loose, it loosens a little bit, it seems to come up all right. See? The beauty of the silicone mat. And it does break up fairly easily. I did find some thicker chunks in the first tray that I've set aside to cool down a little bit more to see if they'll get crummy or not. Break up to a powder or not. I'm going to leave those sit for a minute more. See that center bit there might be a little bit of an issue. We'll find out. Let's break around it. No, it breaks fine. So if you can imagine, if you don't use a silicone mat on that, that is going to be stuck solid to your trays. And you're going to be real mad at me. So please don't do that. I always use a silicone mat. So they're pretty easy to wash. Basically, I just wash them under running water, to be honest with you. And they wash right up. Anything that's on the mat stuck rehydrates and then washes right off. Alright, that's another tray. And I just Ziploc the bag shut partially, get as much air out as I can. Spread it out a bit. And already that's starting to look like a good powder as I can. And then I'm going to get rid of more air. I'll open the center of that. And then just roll it over the Ziploc. That gets rid of most of the air. And there you have it. A nice little powder. I'll combine that with this one. And we'll do the other two trays in high speed. Okay, so that's what I ended up with. Now, I'm not really intending on drinking this. I'm going to use this for baking. I got an idea for it, and I want an intense flavor of apple. And I don't want to go with the apple extract and all that stuff. I wanted to make my own strong stuff. But what I would say, the consistency of that, if I pack it like that, it will kind of hold its shape, see? See? Kind of like brown sugar, but it crumbles up easily. And that's because of the stickiness from the sugars in the apples. So I'm going to say that's kind of like a brown sugar. And I'm thinking, I've read a lot online about the O2 absorbers, and like sugar, they say don't put, if you're doing long-term storage sugar, do not add an O2 absorber to your bucket. If you're doing like a 5-gallon bucket of sugar, don't put O2 absorbers in it because it makes the sugar go rock hard. And I'm thinking, since this is apple, but basically it's sugar, it's the sugar from the apple, and the pulp is minimal because it's hard pressed, and the sugar should preserve the apple. Anyway, I want your opinion on this. I'm thinking I'm going to store this, vacuum seal it in a Mylar bag. I have the type that can be vacuum sealed, and not put any O2 absorber in there. For now, that's what I'm going to do. I'd like some feedback from you guys on what you think on that. Do you think there's enough sugar in there to preserve the apple for long-term storage? Kind of like brown sugar, you know? Brown sugar, that it's got that same consistency. I mean, there's a lump there, but squeeze it and it's gone. So I'm comparing it to brown sugar. And brown sugar will go rock hard, but that's because it's exposed to air. I'm thinking if I vacuum seal this in a Mylar bag with no O2 absorber, it might last a long time. Tell me what you think, and keep an eye out, because I got an experiment to try. I'm going to start tonight on it, using this concentrated cider powder, and if it works, I'll post a video. If it don't, you'll never hear about it again. There you have it. 1 whole gallon of apple cider. And just to show you what I used, this is our local grove, I guess you call it, apple grove in Lewisburg, Missouri. And it's 100% apple cider, not from concentrate. It is pasteurized. They do make a non-pasteurized one, and it's a little bit more expensive. And it's unfiltered, no preservatives, sweetener, nor additive of any kind. There's nothing added to this. It's just pure apple cider. And they've been squeezing apples, it says, since 1977. This stuff is absolutely gorgeous to drink. I love this stuff. And don't know what else to tell you about it. Lewisburg, Kansas. Good stuff. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know. And I'll see you next time.